Well, hey there, Internet Video Land. Welcome to another episode of Game Time, hosted by myself, Kyle. Been a little bit since we came at you last time, so glad to be back. I actually have several videos just waiting to be edited and uploaded here on YouTube. So we got lots of good gaming videos coming at you here in the next couple weeks. We're going to be bombarding you with quite a few, so thanks for subscribing if you haven't done so. If you haven't yet, you should do so, because we actually have some pretty creative and fun little videos ahead for your entertainment. Today is a fun little episode called Game Boy Hidden Gems, excuse me. Also includes advanced games in there. We have one of each today. Sort of, since Game Boy games are pretty quick, small, kind of smaller type games, we're going to do 2 per episode versus our traditional 1 per episode that we've done in some past shows. And definitely check out those videos as well. We did some good hidden gems for NES, etc. And you can find those in those respective playlists. But today we have, for your consideration, if anyone knows me pretty well, they know that one of my favorite games of all time is Pitfall 2 on the Atari 2600, also available on some other systems. But this is a fun little, kind of a generic platformer, nothing too special. But I really like it, and I think it's a hidden gem, and I think more people should play it. It's called Pitfall Beyond the Jungle. I'm going to stand up for that one, not sure how well it will show up. But, yeah, that's for the Game Boy Color. It's also backwards compatible on the original Game Boy, Game Boy Pocket. And kind of a fun little platformer there. We'll see about 7-8 minutes of gameplay on that. And we're going to jump ahead in time to a Game Boy Advance game called Bomberman Tournament. This one will need to be closer up. I'm not sure how that will work either. And the best way to describe this game, just quickly in a nutshell, is classic Bomberman, sort of, maze, top-down, blow up to other players. That's in there. That's its own separate game mode. It's kind of fun. Lots of great mazes in that. But add in story mode that's a lot like Legend of Zelda. It's very Zelda-like, sort of an overworld. You explore dungeons and whatnot, with just a dash of Pokemon thrown in there. You have little creatures that you collect throughout the game called Carabons. I believe that's how they're pronounced in the game. Kind of like collect them. They each have their own little special powers that help you out on the single-player adventure, and you can do battle with them. It's pretty simplistic. It's more of a rock, paper, scissors than even Pokemon is. But yeah, it's weird and eccentric enough that it works pretty well, and it's definitely not a game a lot of people will talk about. But I find that there's a lot of content in that game, Bomberman Tournament. And I'm just a big Bomberman fan anyway. I have quite a few of the games in the Bomberman franchise. I don't know why I like that robot so much, but I do. So, next up on Game Time, Pitfall Beyond the Jungle and Bomberman Tournament. They're hidden gems. They deserve to be seen by a few more people than just myself, and we'll do it next. So stay tuned and watch. Thanks, everybody. Alright, the first game we are going to play in our Game Boy Hidden Gems doubleheader is a nice, fun little game for the Game Boy Color. Also can be backwards compatible with the original Game Boy / Game Boy Pocket. And it is, as I mentioned in our preview, it is Pitfall Beyond the Jungle. Sort of a fun little platformer for the, like I said, Game Boy here. And of course, if you're a fan of my channel, you do know that Pitfall 2 on the Atari 2600 is one of my top favorite games of all time. Pitfall 2 also appeared on, I believe, ColecoVision as well. This is a fun little game. You can see the little game color here, optimized for Game Boy Color. Fun little tunes as well. The game itself is nothing special. I mean, it's for the most part a pretty generic platformer. We can jump, and we can swing our pickaxe to get some enemies. Oh, and we can crouch. So we can run and jump to collect little things floating in the air. Swing on ropes, Pitfall, Harry style. There's one of our enemies. I'm just going to turn up our volume here just a touch. It's kind of a fun little catchy tune. So I'm going to jump over that. I believe 4 different worlds out. We are in the wilderness. I took a hit there. You can see it on our health meter at the bottom of the screen. Roughly about 4 hits, if I remember right. That was not a very good jump at all. I don't know what happened there. That's alright. Let's try to swing a rope again. Sadly, I used to be a lot better at this game as a younger kid than I am now. I used to be able to get to the end of the game, and now I have troubles. So I don't know. Growing up just sucks, I guess. I will give the game this. Some of the jumps are difficult. You really got to run and jump and get those just right. Some of the times you can overshoot your jump. So you kind of got to back up. It's tricky. Run up here, get that thing. Plus you can't always see where you're jumping, so you kind of have to duck down a little bit. Best played on the Game Boy Color, at least one of these Game Boy players. I'm using the GameCube, of course. But it's a black cartridge here, so it would also work on Super Game Boy, I believe. If we jump while holding the up button, we do jump up straight, just a little bit higher. Helpful hint from pal Kyle. Those boots are a 1-up. Well, we have to come back down to get them. There we go. Swing on the rope. We would have overshot that if we jumped while we were at the very end there. So that's why I kind of went back there a little bit. Let's do one more stage here, then we'll move on to our... Oh, that's a log. You can't get that. Gotta jump over that. If you remember the original Pitfall by any means. Oh. No idea what happened. Pretty sure I hit that A button, but maybe not. It's going to require a running jump. Oh, so I almost overshot that. Sometimes Pitfall Harry here just jumps a little too far. So you really got to aim your jumps very carefully in some of these cases. Alright, whoop. Another log to deal with. Few more treasures there. Alright. And there we go. So, and yeah, of course, stages will get more challenging as the game goes on, obviously, as they've always have been. So, there's one we almost overjumped there. Another one of those things. Oh, the disappearing platform. That was my fault. I did kind of stop it there. I will have to redeem myself before we move on to the next game and get past those platforms. Too excited. They're just spaced far enough apart. You don't feel like you could jump to one to the other. Alright, that's enough time on this one though. We do have Bomberman Tournament to play next. So let's do that. Alright, our second game of our Game Boy and Gems doubleheader is Bomberman Tournament. And if there ever was a crossover between Bomberman and a Legend of Zelda game, this is definitely it. You can see there, 2001. This was, I believe, the second ever Game Boy Advance game that I purchased shortly after getting the GBA. The first being, of course, Mario Advance, which was the Mario 2 remake. So there's a story there. If you're interested in the story, definitely pick up the game. It's really worth it. A little more deeper than just running around mazes, planting bombs, and trying to blow up the other player. Two options here. Battle mode is that standard maze mode where you run around and blowing up the other player. That's pretty much that. We can multiplayer in there. All the fun stuff. Normal. There's our standard maps. We can kind of go and play some of that. What's fun here is you get a link cable, and I think just requires one game pack. I remember distinctively back in the day sort of having another friend with a GBA, and I was the only one with this game, but we were still able to link up to play Bomberman Tournament. So I did battle again, didn't I? Yep. Alright, quest. We'll start a new game here, so you can kind of pick it up from the beginning here. We'll play a couple minutes. I'm going to pause the video and essentially play it a little bit more to get a little deeper into the game. A little bit of Pokemon thrown in there as well. You kind of collect some of these little creatures you can use to battle them. So alright, so there's your Bomberman inside the ship. And here we go. As you can see, very Zelda-like almost. So how you attack is still your standard bombs here. We'll press A to plant them, although now we're in a village, so I don't think we can. But like any good RPG, we can go and we can talk with villagers, because everyone loves talking with villagers. Bomberman gets a camera. We need a shot of Louie. I believe he's sort of like a green kangaroo, one of the first encounters we'll see in the forest there. Hey, honey. Boy, Bomberman's a very nice, helpful robot. Yes, you can go diagonal in this game. Imagine that. We've never seen a diagonal Bomberman game. So we won't chat with everybody here. We'll go into the forest here. That looks like the shop, by the way, so you can kind of purchase some stuff there. You can make like water bombs and whatnot. We can't make anything yet, so remote bombs are extremely useful because they will detonate when you tell them to detonate. You can read wooden posts. So here we go. Here's where the fun begins. There's our bomb, and it still blows up in a sort of cross formation, if you will. So very much like traditional Bomberman there. some fun tunes in the background too. Nothing too special, but some of these power-ups we're picking up are going to be for our, what were they calling this game? Carabombs? Essentially our Pokemon there. Let's try to work our way out of this forest. Took a hit there. Luckily you don't die when you take a hit. You just lose a couple of hearts. I lost 2, so I won't be able to take another explosion. But I believe, like in any good Zelda-esque game, we can upgrade our health. So we'll do a couple battles here in the forest. Sort of an original Bomberman enemy, if I remember right. Those balloons. Oh, I didn't mean to do that, but that's right. So what I'm going to do, there's one of the Pokemon type characters we'll do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play the game here a little bit, and we'll start back up in a few minutes in a later point in the game. Alright, so I played a little bit more here. You can tell I'll hit the trigger here. We got a little bit more of the map opened up. Well, I'm pretty sure it was open to begin with there. We originally started elsewhere. I got some good gear, I got some boots, got some medals there, got our Louis pick that we were looking for earlier. I got different types of bombs, aqua bombs for only in the water, land mines, just kind of stay hidden in the ground until someone walks over them and they explode. And of course standard bombs there. And, oh, I didn't mean to do that. We also have our Carabombs. Tommy, kind of sort of the main one there, our mascot, Pikachu, if you will. And we got a couple different ones. Each one does something a little bit different. Like, I think that one we're unable to, well, you can see what they're on the screen, never mind. See the hidden things there. Unlocks the last door in the magnet base, though it's sort of a dungeon, like we would see in Legend of Zelda. Got some extra health up there, got lots of gold and coins, and whatnot. The Carabon that I currently have equipped lets me do a shield, so that's kind of neat. Nice little peaceful village here, sort of like a desert oasis. Let's go out of town. I probably won't do another base here just because they can get maybe a little lengthy or whatnot. But I will show off some battling here in the game. Whoop. Oh, screw that. Timing is not too easy. There we go. Get some coins. So let's equip the different Carabon because, like I said, they kind of do some different things. This can into the sea. Work to almost all visited towns. Let's see if we can push any special blocks here. We have our elephant type Carabon. Cannot push these. I think they're a different color if I remember right. So I'll probably just stick with the Carabon that can give me that shield just in case I get trapped by my bombs or whatnot. Nice little store here, looks like, unless that's an arena, which I think it is. Let's do a Carabon battle here, kind of show off what that's like, and then we'll call it a good video after this. Oh yes. So got a couple wins with a couple of these characters here. So we'll just do Pommy here, and here's how we battle our little creatures. You choose kind of which type of technique you want to do. For example, this top one here is sort of, you'll attack first, block second, do a special third. And hopefully we don't see a black attack, everything else here. So let's start off actually with showtime. Go do some technique, and we'll finish with a nice end. How about that? So here we go, we can kind of sit back and watch a battle, Pokemon-esque style here in a Bomberman game that's very much like a Zelda game. It's a combination of a lot of things here. And therefore it's a hidden gem because this video, or this game, not a lot of people have heard of. And I think it's a really fun game. There's a lot packed in this game here. So I attacked and our opponent blocked, of course no damage there. But special attacks always go through for just a little bit of damage. We can see up here I'm level 12, that's level 14, HPs, got 20 guys, 8, so we'll essentially win this unless I really screwed up bad. And there it is, so. Congratulations, you win. If you stop now, you can do blah 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 blah. Continue fighting. No, we pretty much seen how it goes. Our game time audience kind of gets how it works. So pretty simple, even more simplistic than any type of Pokemon battles, but still fun. Still fun. And these again, little upgrades to help upgrade our Carabons. So I don't know. That's should pretty much do it. Thanks everybody for watching. Of course, Pitfall Beyond the Jungle and Bomberman Tournaments were the games featured today. Definitely check out your local game providers, or if you're feeling adventurous enough, Amazon, eBay, and definitely recommend both games. One's a great platformer, and this one's a very good RPG with Bomberman in it. A character you wouldn't think would be in an RPG, Zelda-esque style with some Pokemon thrown in there. But overall, it makes for a really solid game and a lot of gameplay there, I feel. So, thanks everybody again for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't done so, do so. Thanks for checking out other videos in the playlist as well. That's how we organize our videos. And as always, join our Facebook group page. You can always stay in contact there. Appreciate everybody for watching. You all rock. Stay classic.